Take care in the dusty haze. What's the latest on Saharan dust, Ian?
Well, across the country, we've seen that dusty haze are coming across. It's also affected the other islands in the Caribbean. In fact, the air quality recorded by the EMA has been on the unhealthy level, especially for those who are quite sensitive. And we have been seeing that unhealthy and poor air quality across the region as well. Now, the Saharan dust is not just the dust in there. It also obviously tends to bring all of the pollutants as well as those other particles. The smaller particles can travel deep into the lungs, and that's the reason why that Saharan dust, when it reaches us, causes quite concern, especially for those of you who have respiratory ailments. Meanwhile, the forecast is that we'll still see hazy conditions, especially for Tobago through this evening and overnight. There could be some general cloudiness, however, for parts of Trinidad. Still, a scattering of showers are possible after midnight and going into first thing tomorrow morning, but we'll still see some Saharan dust around as we go through tomorrow. As well as for fisherfolk, you'll notice that haze offshore, and the winds will also be quite fresh at times, 20 knots looking at possibly 25 knots out there in the Atlantic, and the waves will likely be 2.5 to possibly 3 meters out there in the Atlantic, but around the Caribbean we're still looking at 2.5 meters as we go through tomorrow. So still take the necessary precautions, not only out at sea, but also in terms of that Saharan dust. DK?